Hello, it's Raina with LYLO Crafts, and today I have such a fun project. I don't know about you, but decorating my Christmas trees is one of my most favorite things to do for Christmas. If I didn't have any other decoration, having a Christmas tree would be it. And I have beautiful ornaments. You guys, look at these ribbon candy ornaments. Look, you can do them two-tone. Oh my gosh. Now these are on a stick, so they are picked, so they can go in your tree like that, or they could go into any kind of centerpiece or arrangement that you have. These would make the most beautiful package toppers. Do you not think these would be so gorgeous on a package? They would be great like attached to a pack of hot cocoa to give to a coworker. There are just so many uses for these. And when I decorate my tree, I think part of what makes it pretty is not only do I have ornaments hanging down from the branches, but I put picks in that go up from the branches. I just think it adds a little bit of extra dimension to the tree. Now, not only do I have these to share with you, but I am gonna show you how to do it. And it's so easy, you guys, and so inexpensive. So let me give you a closer look before we go ahead and jump on into the tutorial. So here they are, glitter. Made with glitter foam, and it's got tulle and a double bow. And then look at this one. This one's two-tone. I think this is my favorite one. Look, with the green and the red, and even from the side, you can see all the colors. Oh my gosh, is that not so pretty? And then I've got another red one here. So I am sharing these as part of hashtag #SatmornMakes, which is an open collaboration hosted by Jillian Norwood, where you can share anything creative that you have been working on. So please make sure to use that hashtag to check out all the other amazing makers. And also, if you like the content that I am creating, I would so appreciate a thumbs up on my video. And if you have the time and can comment, or if you want to subscribe, that is so amazing. I so appreciate each and every one of you who tune in to see what I'm creating next. And let's go ahead and jump on in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is you are going to take your foam sheet that you have, and mine come from Hobby Lobby, and you can see that they are 12 by 18 inches, and at the time I bought this, it was $1.49, which I bought it at least 1 year, maybe 2 years ago, and these are extra ones that I had from making the lollipop ornaments, so I'll put a link to that below if you want to see lollipop ornaments, how to make them. And so it is 12 by 18 inches, like I said, and we're going to flip it over. We are going to take a ruler, and I am using a pencil, and my ruler does measure about 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches. I can't remember exactly, but just take your ruler, whatever width it is fine. And that's going to be the width of your ribbon candy. So I just line my ruler up on the edge, and then I draw a line all the way across with my pencil. And I am not drawing on the glitter side. It's very hard to see if you are doing glitter. So I've got that. So I've got my line right there. And then the next thing we're gonna do is, all we have to do is go ahead and cut our strip. Okay, so you should have a strip like this. And if you are gonna make a two-tone, then you need one strip of red and one strip of whatever other color you want. Or if you're gonna make it all red, which is what this one is. So this is all red, like this. And then this one is a two-tone. So once you have your two strips cut out, what we're gonna do next is we are gonna take our strips and we are going to put down our fabric paint or our Nouveau drops, whatever you have in your stash. We're gonna just draw these lines in on the front side. Now, I got this from the Dollar Tree, and I have made, I want to say, at least 8 of these ornaments, and it has fully lasted. There is still more in here. And the other one I got at a thrift store, but it originally said it was from Hobby Lobby for $1.29. but I bought it for 25 cents at a thrift store. I like to shake mine down, okay? Because you want to make sure all the paint is in the bottom and you want to eliminate as many bubbles as possible. So I just shake mine on down, okay? And then I'm just gonna unscrew my top, and then I just freehand. Okay, so you can see that I've put 2 lines in here already, and they are not perfectly straight. Okay, that's all good. So you do not have to be a perfectionist for this to look gorgeous. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw this next one in, and I do like to try and rest my wrist. Let me see if I can go up higher. Rest my wrist on the table. It helps me do a little bit of a little more straight line. So I'm gonna just go across, then I'm gonna pull it on down and keep squeezing. There you go. Okay, and so then what you're gonna do is you're gonna set this aside to dry. Now it does take a little bit of time to dry, and so the next thing that we are gonna do is we are going to attach these to each other. So we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna put wrong sides together so that the pretty sides are showing on the bottom and the top. And then I'm just gonna use hot glue to put mine together. The big trick, okay, for this is you do not want to put your hot glue too close to the edge, because when you push it together, it seeps out and then it shows on your seam and it doesn't look so nice. So we want a beautiful seam like this. Can you see? There's no hot glue showing. So here's the big tip. You want to put the glue down from the top a little bit on both the top and the bottom. I just put a little bit at a time, and then I'm gonna line my 2 up, and then I just stand it up on its side so I know for sure one is lined up. Now, invariably, you guys, you might have cut this slightly off. I don't even worry about it. I don't even trim it back up. I just go with it, okay? Because the foam is not always cut exactly straight, so I don't worry about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna put this down, line it up on the bottom, and then I'm gonna open up to wherever that last hot glue spot was. And then I'm gonna put some more here. Not too close to the edge, remember, okay? Okay, and when you get to the end and one edge might be a little bit longer than the other one, that's totally okay. Mine is almost perfectly flush, so I don't trim that off until the end. Okay, so now I want to wait just a little bit to make sure that the glue is dry before I start manipulating it, because I don't want the glue to come apart. So what I'm going to do is make my first fold. Now I'm going to make my first loop, and what I do is I just try to make the loop until this doesn't bend, okay? Because I want to make it small enough where I can have multiple loops. Okay, and so I believe this is about, what I've been averaging is about 1.5 inches. Yep, exactly. 1.5 inches is the width that I'm doing. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to put the glue, again, only in the middle part, so not all the way to the edges, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and push it on here to set. Now you do have to hold it. So if you get too impatient and you move on too quickly, you're gonna have the glue strands showing, because the seams will come up, will stretch a little bit, and it'll show the hot glue stretching with it, okay? So you do want to take your time and wait for it to dry. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my next loop, and all I'm gonna do, I'm still holding that, and I'm gonna bend this over until the look of what I like for my loop. Okay, so now you can see that these, what I want to do is put some glue right where the high point is. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of glue in there, and I am going to press. Okay, and I'm just gonna hold that like that. Between my 2 fingers, I make sure that the edges of my foam are lined up. And you see how even though my lines are not totally straight, they always line up so good on the sides. And that is not by fussing or fiddling. That worked on every single one that I did. The lines look beautiful on the side, even though they aren't perfectly straight. Okay? All right, when you've got that done, you're gonna go ahead and repeat for the next one. And again, you wanna put the glue right on the top here. Okay, on this top piece and not all the way to the edge. Okay, right on the top of the ridge where you want this to fold over. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hold that in place. Now I'm gonna repeat this process over and over until I run out of foam. This time I'm getting 8 loops. Now most of the time I get 7. Wherever your ribbon candy ends is fine. And then what you want to do is if there were excess, you would go ahead and clip that off. Now that little red that is showing right there does not bother me. But if it bothers you, go ahead and clip it on off. I just like that it kind of seems like it's yet another layer, right? That's showing through. That's part of the beauty of ribbon candy. So there is my ribbon. You can see how the sides line up. So the next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna take our little skewer and you're gonna take the pointy end of the skewer and then you are going to stick it on the side where they meet. Okay, because that gives a little bit more foam for it to go through, because I don't like my skewer showing. So what I'm going to do is put it approximately in the middle, and it can be in the line, it can be out of the line, it's not going to show. And can you see it's just starting to poke through that top? Now when you do it that way, you really don't notice it. I got my tiny little point in there, and I have my skewer sticking out. So the next thing we're gonna do is we are gonna add hot glue all around the base of this skewer. Okay, so I'm not putting an over excessive amount, but I'm also not putting a little bit because we're gonna slide a straw right over this, and the glue is to hold that straw in place. So I've got my end right here. I'm going to slip my paper straw right over it and into that hot glue, and I am gonna hold it here until it sets. Okay, once we've got that set, you can see that there's a little bit left over here. So all you wanna do is go ahead and cut off this skewer so that it is flush with the straw. Now, if you wanted to make like an arrangement with these and you wanted those sticks longer, you could totally leave them longer, but I'm gonna put mine in my gingerbread tree. And so I am cutting mine so that it is flush with the bottom of the straw. Okay, now comes the fun part where we get to decorate. And all you need for what I'm doing is a little piece of, so I'm gonna cut about, I measured before that it's like somewhere around 7 or 8 inches, but you don't have to be exact, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my tool and I'm gonna fold it in half. Now, if you have thinner tool, you do not need to fold it in half, but this is the standard size of like a Dollar Tree tool. So I've got that, and all I'm gonna do is tie this in one knot. So it's not really quite a knot. So try and put that in the middle so both sides are even, okay? Now, we're gonna take our bow next, and we are going to glue our bow on. I made this double bow, and if you wanna see how, I'll go ahead and put a link to the tutorial I have on how to make a double bow. It's so easy, and once you make one, you will want to keep making them and adding them to everything. I just think the double lends a little bit of extra goodness to it. So before I glue that on, I think I'm gonna trim the ends of my tool. So what I do is I bring them up together, and this way I'm assuring that I am trimming them to the same length, and I'm just gonna give it a small little haircut. I'm gonna leave it like that, and then I'm gonna slide this down just just a hair from the top of the straw, and I'm gonna put some hot glue on the knot. And the reason why I'm sliding it down is because I want space for the top of my double bow to be able to fit in, tuck in right underneath the loop of the candy. Now, okay. And then the last step that I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little center on. And I have these little stars that are all blinged up, and I got these from AliExpress a few years ago. So whatever you have in your stash, you can use. I mean, if you've got like gingerbread cookies, wouldn't that be cute to add as a center? If you just have plain bling, that'd be awesome too. So I am putting my star, and whenever I put my stars, I don't put the point straight up. I like to have it slightly on the angle. That's just what pleases my eye the most. So there you have it. Look, it took no time at all for you to go ahead and make these, so you could do these in batches and whip them out, and these would be so fun to give for teacher gifts too, don't you think, or to put on the top of a package to give to somebody. I think they are so special and so sweet. So I hope you will try it. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I hope you have an amazing day.